in the midst of technology development and developed artificial intelligence in the near future, our practice in architecture heavily relies on creativity. As per previous presentation done by Vicky Chan, in which he explained about the creativity design toward collaborative effort with the consultants outside of the studio, I'm going to explain about how we develop our design and its process within our studio. So before defining creativity for us, we had to know what is the real definition from. So I just searched Google, and it says about the use of imagination or original ideas to create something inventiveness. Knowing of this simple meaning of creativity, we have to think about what is really creativity to us. So I had some examples here to show very shortly. This is Dongdaemun Plaza in Seoul. Looks very spaceship, and it somehow is very creative, made unique. Is this creative design for you? What about this giant coin building in China? This is somewhat very creative, isn't it? But do you have any opinions about this building? And this is a library building in China as well. As you see this bookshelf, actually it's a fake bookshelf, and then the book you see over there is printed and attached to the shelf. As this city building might be creative or maybe not, it's upon your decision to make. Even if there are many ways that we can discuss about what it really means to us, let's move these possible discussions aside for a later time. And right now, let's focus on what it really means to us. And I'd like to share the very famous commercial in India before we jump to our creative design to us. Let's have a look.
Excuse me?
Survive the world. It is a really amazing commercial, isn't it? When I visited here for Mumbai project, Mumbai airport project 12 years ago, I saw this commercial and I never realized it until I really tried the train from the hotel near the airport to the downtown Mumbai. Then this commercial becomes so reality to me. As this commercial presented here, what it really gives people in Mumbai is a sense of belongings. Even people from outside Mumbai or India would learn more about the city. And I'm pretty sure that this will lead them to learn more about life of the city as well. So that uniqueness offers actually intimacy to all of us. The most amazing fact is that among all those different ideas for commercials, this one commercial really stands out. Only because it relates to life of people in Mumbai. In this same way, I believe architects should create a design that connects life, and culture, and the community as well in the context. That is true creativity that I believe in our design process. Here are a few examples of design. The landmark architecture of Mumbai, which is Mumbai International Airport. The design focuses on the creations of the peacock feather pattern into the column design. It creates a pattern that would represent the culture of India, so that it creates a sense of connections to local culture. And this is museum buildings. They use materials salvaged from the ruins at the site, so that regardless of its contemporary form outside, it contains the history of the site. That's what I believe in, that how this context-driven design can offer to the communities around. That is true identity of architectural creativity. So from now on, I would like to introduce how we produce our design in order to make the creative ideas to relate the context that creates intimacies and sense of belongings. This is Science and Innovation Center. The site is a vastly huge island, which is around 230,000 square meter area, but the building is only around like 14,000 square meter. It's about 6% of the total area. And there's two possible approaches to reach to this main island, which is from the south and north. So based on the given conditions, the first thing we need to look at was where we're going to locate the building. So most beneficial location for people coming from the south and the north, without giving them any chance of fighting, is the central locations of the island. So by placing the main design into the central locations, we start to connect existing paths by creating a space at the central locations. So the most logical form becomes a circle, and it creates circular circulations internally as well as externally, so that all peripheral area around the central location become a public space that enhance cultural activities such as playground, cafeteria, jogging, walking, picnic, and even events or festivals, and so on. Now here, this final perspective you are looking at. This project is World Writing Museum. The site is located at the central part of the central city. In this central park, with this beautiful open space, we need a museum that explains about world writing. So world writing itself is quite difficult to visualize, if you can imagine, in a way of architectural form. So our approach is mainly started with understanding of a surrounding environment, because that's the way of a start in this case for us. So while we are looking into the site context in many different directions, as you see through the given site from the photo, surrounding buildings are high-rise offices or residential towers. So we found this is very interesting point to draw attention, so that our idea has been drawn into the simple questions. Can we write letters on landscape? So with these simple questions, we start to write all different letters down on the landscape, and then we designate the area where it's going to be built. And we erected the letters to be displayed to visitors from the central park. And we extrude the two building masses based on required space for museum functions. And then we deform the letters in the middle into bridge structure to connect the two masses, and offered various entrance points to the central courtyard to the museum. And at the end, we offer the green landscape to harmonize with the central park. Now you will see the perspectives. As you see, the outside materials were chosen to reflect environment to maximize the curiosity of the inner space behind the facade wall. And you see the central area with the bridge to connect the two main buildings each other. And you see the main lobby. And then final images. This is the last project for this presentation. It is a video to show how we designed one of famous museum project competition, which is the Museum of Guggenheim. This will also show very clearly of how we design through the context. As you see, its site is located in Helsinki, Finland. It's a beautiful nature with the Baltic Sea and park, and there are busy commercial and public activities around the site. Under this dramatically beautiful nature environment, you will find how architecture can be formed through the nature together. Please enjoy the rest of the video. To conclude it, as we are architects, there are many ways we can design. There are so many ways in our practice. So as an architect, we have to define how we can reduce the options, how we can drive our design directions to the point that would help communities. So our beautiful creativity relies on the design that is driven by the context, which has to associate and communicate with people who live in that community. So the final architecture driven by the context will lead the community to have sense of belongings and to appreciate the unexpected beauty their environment could offer to them. This is our presentations. Thank you for being with my presentation.